All right. All right. Settle down. Settle down. Okay, guys. So today we're gonna learn how to use a protractor. Has anyone ever used a protractor before? Okay, cool, cool. All right. So do y'all know what a protractor is used for? Do y'all know? Anybody? A protractor is used to measure the degree of an angle. Okay, there's different variations. We have first our one variation that we're going to be using today. This is the one variation that is most commonly used. So you do have it looks like a half circle, kind of, right? So you have all your degrees on one side, and what you usually do is you'll place it right on top of the angle, and it's going to give you the degree. And I'm going to show you how you're able to find the degree of the angle by using this protractor today, okay? So this is one variation of it, okay? One variation. Another one we have is one of these. So it has the degree angles right here on the edge or the corner, and you're able to move it to whatever degree you want it to. So let's move it to 180 degrees. So this is 180 degrees right here. It's a straight line, 180 degrees. Same thing with this one. Right here, straight line, 180 degrees, okay? All right, so everyone should have a protractor on their desk. We won't be using this one today. This one's not gonna be one that we're gonna use today. Everyone should have a protractor on your desk. Sorry, I cannot talk today. You should have a protractor on your desk. All right, everyone should, and you should have a sheet of paper with the angles drawn on them, okay? So everyone should have one on your desk. I want everyone right now to take your protractor. I want you to lay it on top of your angles, okay? Lay it on top of your angles, all right? So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna go through each problem with you. We're gonna find all the angles together, okay? These are all the line segments. We're gonna find all the angles together, okay? We're using our protractor. So lay your protractor on top of your paper, and we're gonna show our work, okay? I want you to label your degrees as we go, label your angles, the degree of your angle as we go through, and I want you to show your work on the bottom of your paper, okay? I want everyone to show their work, all right? So let's go ahead. Everyone look at your paper with your protractor on top. All right. So you should have your angles on your paper by now, everyone. Your protractors on your paper by now, right? Everyone has them? Cool. So the first one we're gonna do is line segment CAG. All right. Measure of CAG. So how we're gonna do is we're gonna break that up. So we're gonna have angle AC and angle AG, okay? So AC right here crosses, I'm gonna switch my colors. Angle AC right here crosses at 0 degrees. As you can see, 0 degrees on your protractor, okay? For 0 degrees, right there. Okay, it's on each side, right here, of your protractor. Okay? So that one crosses at 0 degrees. Line AG is going to cross at 160 degrees, okay? So, how do we find that angle? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these two measures, and we're going to subtract them, okay? So we're going to do 160 degrees minus 0 degrees, okay? So what is that gonna give you? 160 degrees minus 0 degrees. What is that gonna give y'all? That is gonna give you the measure of 160 degrees. Good job. So our measure of CAG is going to equal 160 degrees, okay? So make sure you show your work on that first paper, on y'all's paper. I want y'all to go ahead, like I said, write down the angles, okay? Write down the measures, and then you're gonna write down your final answer, which is 160 degrees. Angle CAG is equal to 160 degrees, okay? I want you to go ahead and write. All right, here, so you're going to lay your protractor on top of your angles and make sure they match up. So angle AG is going to equal 160 degrees. and angle AC is going to equal 0 degrees. Then we're going to move on and subtract the two, so 160 degrees minus 0 degrees. All right, and that's going to give you a total of 160 degrees. And then you have your answer for part A. Our next one is going to be angle GAE. All right, like I said, we're going to go ahead and break that up. All right, so angle AG, look at angle AG. What does angle AG cross at? Anybody know? What does angle AG cross at? Anybody? Okay, 160. Okay, our angle AG is going to cross at 160 degrees. Now, what about our angle AE? Can anyone tell me about angle AE? What does that one cross at? Angle AE crosses at 90 degrees, okay? So make sure you label these on your angles. Right there by your protractor. Please label them. Thank you. Label them. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to subtract them like we did the first one. When we got CAG equals 160 degrees, we're going to do the same. We are going to subtract, okay? So we're going to get 160 degrees minus 90 degrees, okay? So 160 degrees minus 90 degrees. What is that going to give you? Anybody? Anybody know? What is that going to give you? You're right. That is going to give you a total of 70 degrees, okay? So 160 degrees minus 90 degrees is going to give you a total of 70 degrees, okay? Subtracting your two angle measures. 160 degrees minus 90 degrees is going to give you 70 degrees, okay? All right? So angle GAE is going to equal 70 degrees, okay? Sound good? All right, make sure you write that on. All right, so your angles AG and AE. So AG is going to equal 160 degrees, and your angle AE is going to equal 90 degrees. So what you're going to do next is you're going to subtract. Correct. So you're going to subtract 160 degrees minus 90 degrees. And that is going to give you a grand total of 70 degrees. So your answer for part B is going to be 70 degrees. So moving on to our next one. All right, we have angles GAD. And like I said, we're going to break that up. So we have AG and AD. All right, so what does angle AD measure? Anybody? What does AD measure? Anybody? I'm sorry, AG. What does AG measure? I'm sorry, I said the wrong one. AG. Make sure you're on AG. What does AG measure? 160 degrees. Correct. All right. And angle AD. Can anyone tell me what angle AD measures? Antibate. 60. Yes. Angle AD equals 60. So what are we going to do now to find our measure for GAD? What are we going to do now? Subtract. Good job. So we're going to write 160 degrees minus 60 degrees equals what? Anybody know? 160 degrees minus 60 degrees equals... Anybody know? Anybody know? 100 degrees. Correct. Alrighty. So 160 degrees minus 60 degrees is going to give you 100 degrees. Okay? So that is equal to 100 degrees. Alright, so angle GAD is equal to 100 degrees. Okay? Awesome. All right, go ahead. Let's move on to our next question. Alrighty, so then we'll go ahead and lay our protractor down back on top of our angles. So as you can see, we already have the angle AG measured out, which is going to give you a total of 160 degrees. So now we're going to get the measure of angle AD, which is going to give you a measure of 60 degrees. Alrighty, so what do we do next after that? We are going to subtract. So we're going to subtract 160 degrees minus 60 degrees. And that's going to give you a grand total of 100 degrees. So your answer for part C is going to be 100 degrees. So, moving on to our next question, we have angle FAD. Again, we're going to chop it right up. So we have angle AF, AD. Alrighty, AF, AD. So what does angle AF equal? Anybody know? What does angle AF equal? Anybody? 130 degrees. What does it say in the protractor? 130 degrees, okay? I'm going to use a different color for this one. Should have been doing this all along, but it's alright. I'm going to do it right now. So 130 degrees. So AF equals 130 degrees. What does AD equal? Anybody? Anybody know? What does AD equal? Angle, line segment AD. $60 degrees. I heard 60 degrees somewhere. So this is going to equal to 60 degrees. Alrighty, so what are we going to do now? What is the next big step that we're going to do? Anyone know? We're going to subtract. Awesome. So I'm going to switch my colors here. So we're going to take 130 degrees and subtract that by 60 degrees. Alright, so 130 degrees minus 60 degrees. What is that going to give y'all? Anybody know? What is that going to give y'all? Think about it. Think hard. Think hard. Plug in your bolts like Frankenstein. Plug in your bolts into your head. Think hard. Think hard. What is that going to give y'all? Use a calculator if you need to. If you got a calculator, use your calculator. But think hard. Do it on paper. Count on your fingers if you need to. Do any kind of assistance. What is it going to equal? 70 degrees. Correct. So 130 degrees minus 60 degrees gives you 70 degrees, which makes our angle FAD equal to 70 degrees. Good job. Alrighty. I want you to go ahead and do the rest of the questions on your worksheet within your group. Remember to use your protractor. Remember our rules to always subtract your degree angles. I think y'all got it from there. All right. Alrighty. So you'll go ahead and lay your protractor again on top of your angles. So we have angle AF, which is going to equal 130 degrees. And as you can see, you already have angle AD, which is 60 degrees. So now you're going to do your final step, which is subtraction. So you're going to subtract 130 degrees minus 60 degrees. All right. And that's going to give you a grand total of 70 degrees. So your answer for part D is going to be 70 degrees. So of course your final step is to go back through and put your answers in for each angle. So angle CAG is going to give you a total of 160 degrees. Angle GAE is going to give you a grand total of 70 degrees. Angle GAD is going to give you a total of 100 degrees. And angle FAD is going to give you a total of 70 degrees.